Hi, everybody. Like I promised, we have Ashleigh Shapiro from Los Angeles comedy scene here. She's so adorable and so hysterical. But before we get started, real briefly, this is going to be on Facebook right now live, and then I'm going to download it and it'll be uploaded to YouTube because I'm into magic. And somehow it's going to be on comedian Linda Marcus Smith on YouTube. So that's my goal, to get those all up on there. So here we go with Ashleigh Shapiro. Hey, Ashleigh. We already have one person watching.
Yay! Hi.
It's Brian. I think Brian's from Australia.
Oh my
I
goodness.
think so. I think I got it right. Or England, one of the two, you know.
Ah!
Gosh. I could go look it up, but so Ashleigh, what have you been doing lately?
Oh my goodness. I have been home
Yes?
and I've been with like my family, my daughter and my dog. And just like reflecting and living and like communicating with people, through phone and Zooms, etc. Writing and meditating.
Trying to stay balanced and positive?
Yeah, I absolutely. It's like a slippery slope,
Yes.
right? I mean, because there's just so much going on. But I'm also allowing myself not to be positive and to also be upset or to be sad or to experience and go through those emotions because those are really important,
They are. That's very important that we're authentic to how we're really feeling. That's so important. Yeah.
Right? And especially now, you can sit in those feelings.
Because they'll pass. If you get depressed, it'll pass if you feel it. If you bury it, it just comes back twice as hard.
Oh, absolutely. And, in these confined walls, it's definitely a time of sort of exploring those emotions, those feelings, those thoughts, things that maybe have been on your mind for a really long time and you just haven't had the time or the capacity, to just dive in.
Yeah, I hear stories from so many people that they're getting more done, things they've not had time for. Are you finding that to be the case? Like projects or?
Well, I will say there's been like a shift because I am now really at home with my child and she has reached this sort of 2.5, almost to 3. So she's very energetic and busy. So, it's almost like I'm a teacher and I'm doing all these preschool activities. But by playing, it has allowed my mind to kind of like open up and explore things. And yes, I think by having more isolated time to myself, I'm able to re-examine, just things I wanted to do or time spent,
So I would imagine that your daughter, being 2.5, almost 3, is a little young to know what's going on in the world other than she needs to wash her hands a lot or not him on the TV again.
Yeah, I mean,
How does?
I definitely haven't shielded her, but there's just so many other things at her age that she's learning. And I think the fact that she's not having play dates or hanging out with other children is enough for her to see that, hey, things have shifted, things have changed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think we're both just adapting to these new conditions and doing the best with what we got, what we're working with, just still trying to have fun. We still have our imagination. So I'm tapping into that inner child, like, hello.
Now you have a dog. What kind of dog do you have? Because people want to get to know you. You're so adorable and likable and funny. What kind of dog would a person like you have?
Well, I rescued my dog, like, I think 5 years ago. My husband and I, he's a Shih Tzu,
Okay.
and his name is Whiskey.
Oh. Did he come with that name, or did you change his name?
Well, we had to change his name because his name was Seven, and it reminded me of like a puppy mill. I didn't know if it was just an assignment. And honestly, he didn't like that name. He didn't respond to that name. And we tried a lot of names. And at the time, we were big whiskey drinkers. And we said whiskey. And he was like, like, there you go. So that's how he got his name. And shout out to Beeple's Buddies, because that's who we adopted him from. And she's amazing. It's a nonprofit, and she not only rescues the dog, but she like trains them and gets them ready, as they, best that she can with like therapy and such. Yeah.
People's Buddy?
Yep, People's Buddies. Yes.
Nice.
It's an LA local nonprofit. Yeah.
Wonderful. I love beagles, so if you hear of a cute little beagle that he can be rambunctious, I'm looking for a beagle. So yeah, that's me.
Did you have a dog, or do you have one now? Or
I had a beagle for 15 years when I was raising my daughter, and I miss Murphy. And we called him Murphy because of Murphy's Law.
Got it. I understand. I'm with you. Like, I feel like, I don't know, did you ever think about getting two dogs?
Yes.
Like, so that Murphy had a friend?
Yeah. That would have been so much better on the dog. Separation anxiety when you leave and the guilt.
Yeah. I thought about it, but in this time I'm like, I don't know.
So, your husband, do you mind saying what kind of work he does, or does he come to support your comedy and your art career?
Yeah, he's really, really supportive. He has a regular job. He's a lawyer, and yeah, he's I'm blessed to have a supportive husband. Who believes in me. But I think more importantly, like, he allows us both to be independent. Like, we both allow each other to be independent and to explore new things that we want to do, or things that maybe existed before we knew each other.
Wow.
So, it's cool. We try to keep a balance, but we're like everybody else. We got our issues. He comes up a lot in my comedy because, how could he not? But yeah, cool guy.
So you come from what city, and how long have you been in comedy, and why did you get into it?
Well, I've been in comedy, I would like to say, my whole life, because it's just activating different parts of the brain, or different vessels that you use. Like, when I was younger, I was in an observation, a sponge stage, just kind of watching the braids, and really, as I mentioned on Monday, I was really into In Living Color, sketch comedy, also Def Comedy Jam. I was really into Chris Rock, honest. All amazing comedians, Robin Williams, so many. And the new and awesome comedians, Tiffany Haddish, and just so many. But then I got into the stage where, actually, when I was in high school, I was what was I? I was a rally commissioner, and believe it or not, that was my first time with the mic. I was in charge of setting up these sketches and these comedic moments, and orchestrating with our band and the sports teams and the clubs. So, that was probably my first taste, real taste. And then I would say the reemergence was after I had my baby, because, you change. And, I think having a child helps you to face your authentic self. You're like, all right, now it's time. It's time to do what I want to do, or more or less, I have something to say.
Yes.
And yeah, that's what happened basically. And then, so now I do perform stand-up comedy, sketch comedy, and sometimes improv.
So you write your own sketches?
Well, I recently started writing on sketches, but I was performing other people's sketches. Okay. And, but yeah, no, actually, I'm actually doing a sketch class online right now during this quarantine.
Nice. You know, I've heard of a lot of, side note, I heard a lot of colleges, if you lost your job or your income, you're getting into college free right now for like different trade or things to learn different trades.
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, it's the playing field not hasn't been completely leveled, but in a way because students are also taking their classes online, even if they were on campus. Is kind of helping to facilitate this new, I don't know, new time of doing stuff online and feeling okay with it. Not to mention for those who are blessed to work from home, you can work and now go to school from home. I mean, and that's pretty awesome.
Yes. There's a lot of good that's going to come out of, whenever there's hard times, there is a lot of good that does come out. Hopefully good humanity instead of looting or killings, that kind of stuff. Hopefully good humanity will come where you will have less jokes on stage about the homeless, because we're all one step away from being homeless now.
There you go. There you go, Linda. You're right on it. I mean, I definitely, people are still going to be themselves, right? But there's definitely so much. Hopefully, people have had the opportunity to explore. I think comedy is going to be very rich. I think a lot of people are going to definitely want to laugh and be even more supportive, or just attending, just live arts, period. So, that's exciting. I think during this time, hopefully people are really finding their true callings, and gearing up for the moment to really share that with the world, gift people.
So while we're on that topic, Miss Ashleigh, I would like to know if money wasn't an issue, and you could change anything horrible or anything really good and make it even better in the world, what would you like to see? What would you like to champion if money wasn't an issue? Say somebody's sitting here watching and they got $1 million to invest in something you want to do. What would you like to see done?
Wow, that's a big one.
I know. Like for me, I'd like to have housing for single mothers and their children.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, I actually had a women's group a couple of years ago, and we did a lot of work with the Los Angeles women's shelter. It's the only one, I believe, in Los Angeles. And so we donated both our time as well as we made food and served like a restaurant. We did a lot of things, which would be awesome. But to be honest, I think I would probably want to create like a production company that is able to create like comedy and other content, but also to hire and employ like lots of women, women with children, women or people with disabilities, for all the positions, including the creatives and the talent, because I think so many of us are storytellers, be it in a comedic way or drama way, and sometimes it's just difficult to navigate how you get to where you want to go, and that could be a stand-up special, but being a production company to be able to house that sort of creative mastermind, I would love that. And even being able to hire people from a shelter and such, people need opportunities, and also it should be able to share the artist's experience as well. And I'm going to talk a lot about being an artist, FYI, because a friend bought me, it was such a surprise, this book called The Artist Way, which I highly recommend.
Who wrote that? Cameron? Did it say?
Is it Cameron?
I don't know.
No, Julia Cameron.
Okay.
Cameron. 25th anniversary. I've been also reading this, which is technically a 12-week course. And it's so true. So many people, also including myself, which is why I probably didn't start doing stand-up until later in life, but we are told that we can't be what we want to do, right? And we're constantly aiming for something to be rather than being what we enjoy.
Sorry about that. Call came in.
No. Well, you're busy. People love you, Linda. Hello.
Your phone should be ringing.
No, obviously no one. Oh no, but I do have some people on. Hey, how you doing? Oh, my mother-in-law's on here. What up, though? But yeah, like, you know, I just really, you know, think that like more people have an artist in them, and like that could be anything, you know, wanting to write, wanting to do photography, you know, wanting to creatively do something, you know, or whatever it is. I just hope that, you know, at some point I could do that. And if I had $1 million to invest in it, I would. I certainly would.
That's so cool. Because, you know, in school, the funding for the arts is almost a thing of the past. And then people have to spend money and get into debt to go into art that might not pay off for a long time. So that would be really cool.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I mean, thankfully, I went to a performing arts school.
Did you?
Yeah, it was just it was a public school, but we, you know, schools choose, I guess, what they base them, you know, their curriculum. And we had performing arts, and then we also had Future Farmers of America, because I grew up in Sacramento, but I was born in the Bay Area, and then we moved. So, you know, we are at a young, I think, 7th grade. You're introduced to, you have to take some art classes, you know, and I think a lot of us don't realize all the different forms of art, you know, and realize how creatively we apply that our minds to solving these problems or creating things, you know, be it interior decorating is a form of art, you know. There's just so much, like, you know, I think we do need art.
Yes. If we take art out of life, you know, I mean, creativity is hope, you know. Look at the Sistine Chapel. Somebody had to hope to do that.
There you go. Mention it too, okay? They're like, we're going to build that.
Yeah. Some of the best comedians have come out of art schools, you know, and not everybody, you know, can afford to go to an art school. Some people get scholarships, but that's so cool that you're wanting to provide a path for people and that you see the need to continue with art. That shows your huge heart for the world.
No. You know, my grandma, well, yeah, my grandma and my Grammy, but like my grandma, she was just like she was a teacher, and she taught in one of the hardest school districts at the time, Detroit school district, and she didn't just show up to work, you know, she would buy supplies, you know, just not waiting for them to come in. And even as a senior, she was volunteering at senior facilities, and I was like going with her, and I was like, hey, aren't you a senior? And you know, yeah, and when she took me to church, and her and my grandfather, but when we go, we'd be the first ones there, the last ones to leave. Woo! Okay, she had me teaching Sunday school, and I was a kid myself, and we were like making food. Anyway, she really exposed me, and they showed me, you know, like giving back. Like, it doesn't take much, and you don't have to have much. Sometimes it's just your time, but you know, as an artist of whatever you practice, you know, we all know you got to protect your time as well. So
that's true. You have to take time to regroup, you mean? And stay back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also protect your time, meaning like, you know, whatever it is you're working on, in order for you to be able to help people, you got to help yourself.
Yes. So how did you get to be so authentic on stage? Because you are like, I can see the ocean in your eyes when you're on stage. I can tell you love it, but you're not hiding behind who you are. When you're on stage, you are who you are, and you let it rip. And how did you, like, where did that come from?
Wow, let's see. I don't know. I mean, listen, I grew up in a very opinionated family. My parents separated, but they were very vocal. They told me the deal, what was going on, very communicative with me. And they've always pushed me to express myself, but also to stand up for myself, talk about things, just really find myself. I did sports. In college, I ran track. And I guess along the way, you find yourself. You realize, hey, this is my hair. This is what it is. This is who I am. I'm a sister. Hello. You look up your lineage and you figure out where your family grew up and what they went through, and you just start honoring that by being yourself, like that like everyone else is taken, and then having a kid, I can't fake the funk because she'll call me out, but no, honestly, I don't know, I just think it's easier to be me. And I do sketch and commercial acting, let's pray, you get to be other people. I get to be other people all the time. So when I'm on stage and I'm doing stand-up, it is me. That is my reality.
That is so beautiful. Yeah, I love watching you do comedy because the joy you just put in your face when your face was all lit up there, you are just like that on stage. And your material is so hilarious, and people, you're hilarious, you're beautiful, you're energetic on stage, you're relatable. Oh my gosh, you're just the total package. And when I met you at the Portland Comedy Festival last year, I just couldn't believe the quality of human being that you were. And I teared up. I think you might have teared up during that interview we had then. And I never have forgotten you. And I just thank you for coming back on. We had an internet problem the other day. And thank you. I want all my friends to get to know you. Share this, you guys. And I'll be putting it up on comedian Linda Marcus Smith on YouTube. But Ashleigh, if my people want to follow you, and I would encourage that, how would they follow you besides down the street on social media?
Okay, if you see me on the street, hello, remember, we're still social distancing, okay? So I'm on Instagram at official Ashleigh, ASHLEIGH. Yes, my mother was extra. Also, I have a website, which is ashleighshapiro.com, and you can subscribe. And then honestly, it's random, but I try to send out some sort of, personal newsletter, etc. But I also let you know if I'm coming to your city, or where I'm at or what's going on. So that's an intimate way. And then I'm also on Facebook and Twitter as either official Ashleigh or Ash Shapiro. But the key is it's ASHLEIGH. Just look for the lady with the fro. Yeah.
Thank you so much. God bless you, and give a big hug to your daughter.
Oh, Linda. Hugs, hugs, hugs.
Hugs, hugs, hugs. Love you. Go get him, girl.
You too.
Thank you.
To see you.
Same here. Love you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Anytime. Holler back. Bye. Love you. Isn't she beautiful and amazing? I love her to pieces. She came to the Portland Comedy Festival last year at Harvey's, and Harvey's had me interviewing the comedians that were on, at the festival. And when I met her, I think we both teared up because she told me the story of her life, and I told her the story of my life, and and she's just so real and so amazing and so full of love and hope and positivity, and she's so real and she's so authentic on stage. She's not playing games. She's just for real, and it really comes across. So I'm going to put this up on YouTube. I have 56 interviews to load up on YouTube. It's not going to happen in this old building I'm living in. And Starbucks is closed, so be patient with me. But it's up there now, and you can certainly take it off of Facebook right now. Get a hold of her, Ashleigh, ASHLEIGH, Shapiro, just like it sounds, SHAPIRO. And she's either official Ashleigh or official Ashleigh Shapiro or Ashleigh_Shapiro on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. She's all over LA, and she goes around the country. And she had a really good shot at the Portland Comedy Festival of winning the whole thing. She was awesome. So we're not talking any kind of slouch. Yeah. So be a fan of Ashleigh Shapiro, because I love her, and I know if you love me, you'll love people I love. So holler at me. Denise is on here. I'm going to be interviewing Denise. If anybody's in the art field or music is art, holler at me if you want to get interviewed and have my people know you. Thank you so much. I see all of you, and I see you waving and sending up love, and thank you so much for the positivity in these hard times. And every time we turn on the TV to escape, thank you, honey. Every time we go on, turning on the TV to escape reality, you know, the hard times, every commercial is in these hard times. If I hear one more, well, I guess I better not say that, because every single commercial has "in these hard times" in it. It's like, what? You can't all be saying that. That's so hack. Anyway, I love all of you, and you take it easy, and we'll talk to you later. Love you. I see that. I think that's Denise doing that. Thank you. Bye.